Good afternoon, I'm Raylene Ramsey. This is your afternoon news fix for Wednesday, the 22nd of July. The Greens say the government's asleep at the wheel on climate change. A new Climate Commission report shows we're at risk of missing all our emissions targets, and change is slow. The government's not on course to meet its 2030 methane target, and the Commission is warning time short to correct course. Greens co-leader Chloe Swarbrick is sounding the alarm.
New Zealanders have experienced, on average, every 8 days a state of emergency in just this past year alone. This is climate change.
A competitor to dairy giant Fonterra says the review of the rules governing its market dominance mustn't weaken competition. Open Country Dairy has submitted on the government review of the Dairy Industry Restructuring Act. Fonterra's cooperative maintains nearly 80% market share. Herald Now's Garth Bray says Open Country is trying to get ahead of potential changes.
They didn't like the language around this. They said that the whole review's being framed as a discussion about red tape, and they're saying, well, we're all for cutting red tape, but this is not red tape. This is necessary competition protection.
Stuart Nash has blasted National MP Katie Nimmin, claiming she took 9 months' leave after giving birth and is the laziest MP he's ever seen. Here's political reporter Ethan Griffiths.
Nash made the claim in a text to former MP Chris Finlayson, who shared it on his podcast. Nimmin, who's facing Nash in the Napier electorate this election, says she only took 6 months away from Parliament and continued working full-time in her electorate. Prime Minister Chris Luxon has labelled the comments sexist, and Chris Bishop says it's disgusting.
Katie Nimmin says she doubts Nash will apologise.
That's the way he rolls, right? And I don't really need to give him any extra airtime, but I think the public can make their own decisions on how he feels about women. He's made his position really clear.
Concern over the rise in generating sexually explicit images without consent. ACT MP Laura McClure has spoken to a select committee about her members' bill to criminalise deepfake pornographic images. McClure says there are fears the rise of AI makes it easier to create and share unwanted sexual images.
NetSafe have reported that they receive daily calls about deepfaking, which I think is quite alarming in itself.
The Finance Minister says signing off a bailout for Fletcher Building's Golden Bay Cement was an extremely uncomfortable decision. The $60 million government grant lets the Whangare concrete facility continue rather than switching to imports. It's the only place in the country manufacturing cement. Nicola Willis says otherwise she'd be in the government that presided over the end of crucial industry.
It is a case of the least worst option and not something I have taken any pleasure in.
To sport, and Auckland FC are poised to confirm their new head coach. The New Zealand Herald reports Portugal's Pedro Moreira is top of the shortlist. A dead rubber loss to end the Black Caps one-day international cricket series in the West Indies. The Windies have won Game 5 by 2 wickets, but the tourists win the series 3-2. Rugby's Club World Cup is poised to be delayed by a year until 2029. Officials had hoped to launch the competition in 2028. That is your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update tomorrow morning from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.